Hello all, this is going to be your tutorial video for how to do the Khan Academy assignment Exponential Functions from Tables and Graphs. In the instructions for this section, it tells us right over here that all of our exponential functions are going to have this shape of g of x is an a multiplied by some b to the x. It is important to note that this x will always be the x. That is going to be what makes this an exponential function. It's usually a matter of time. And so we'll talk now about how to find a and b. A is going to be the simplest one to find. A is always the starting value. So this is whenever we're looking at a time of 0. So in terms of coordinates, I see that the point 0, 6 is right here on the graph. So I can conclude that my A for my problem is 6. Now finding B for my graph is a little bit more tricky. We usually want to try what we have when x is 1. So this is what we're wanting so we can find b. And right here, for an x value of 1, we've actually been given this value here very nicely, which is going to be good for us. So here I see that this goes through the point 1, 9. And I get to use that. You see, I know that when x is 1, that my a and b multiplied together, so when x is 1, a and b multiplied together is going to make that y coordinate of that point. So in this case, I can see that a multiplied by b is going to make 9. Now I did have to do the second, and I get to now use the fact that a was 6, and so I can actually divide this out now to figure out what's going on. So 9 divided by 6 is a fraction that will reduce by 3. So that's 3 over 2. So when I go to write my equation here, now that I have a and b, remembering this one's always x, I'm going to write in the answer 6 and a base of 3 over 2 to the power of x. Here is another example. I'm going to again start by noting that at a time of 0, when x is 0, we have a starting value of 4. So that tells me my starting value is 4. So I know that much already just by looking at the problem. I can look over at my 1, which is again given very nicely, to see that this number, the y value here is 2, so I know that a times b equals 2. Again, I see that my a value was 4 from what we decided at the start, so I know 4 multiplied by b is 2. So I know my b value in this case is 1/2. So my answer is going to be 4, and then 1/2 to the power of x. A couple of things to keep in mind. You'll note the way that I am using the parentheses here to group that base. That is important when the base is more than one number. So when it's a fraction, 2 numbers, you'll need those parentheses to group. Also, if you're on the computer and you forgot how to do exponents, it's this symbol, the shape that you're looking for right here, and that's going to be as shift 6. And for a third example on this topic, you're going to see we've got a table this time. Again, they gave us the nice 2 critical points we needed. We needed 0 for the starting value because, again, that tells us what a is. And then we can also now use this 1 because I know that this is going to be an a multiplied by the base 1 time. So I can say my starting value is 5. My 2 things multiplied together, starting value times base, is going to be 8. So again, because I know my start value was 5 here, then I can quickly figure out that my base needs to be the fraction 8/5. So now I write my answer as 5, which is the start, multiplied by the base I found, which was 8/5, to the power of x.